Good morning. It's Spitball again. I'm back with another video. Today, now, I got friends, okay? Now, they happen to be on the snowflake side. They don't like watching the news. They've been watching so much of, how would we say, their dreams and aspirations of what they would want the world to be, that they forget how we got here. They watch other news that manipulate the truth to their facts. Well, they sent me a post today. Now, this comes from a man. His name is Robert Rich. Now, right now, he holds a job where? Let me see. Berkeley. Oh, boy. Here we go again. This is where Antifa has started up and started destroying their own colleges because they don't want to hear conservatives speaking. Okay? Now, this man has some work in here. I mean, it's not that he never served, because he did serve. He was also a secretary in Congress. Now, if we go to his homepage here, it comes up here and it shows all this information on his Facebook page. How he puts on here Saving Capitalism as a documentary on Netflix. Now you see why the Obamas are on Netflix. They needed a personal stream place to be able to push their propaganda. And it is propaganda. And I'm going to give you his words from his last statement of reading that he put on here. Now, he was a former secretary of labor. Understand this. He was a former secretary of labor. The very people that implemented all these taxes and regulations on there to kill all of your jobs so you could be poor and have to depend on the government. Okay? And this is the man now who's coming out and preaching as a professor up in Berkeley, trying to tell you what the President of the United States is. So let's go back to his post that he made. Let's hear some of this.
Within 2 years into Donald Trump's presidency, he continues to behave more like a dictator than the leader of a democracy. The basic difference between a democracy and a dictatorship comes down to means and ends. Democracy is about means, not ends. If we all agreed on the ends, such as whether to build a wall along the Mexican border, there'd be no need for democracy. But of course we don't agree.
Okay, right there. You just heard what he's saying. Okay? That the democracy is the means to an end. Now, what kind of lie is that? Have you ever heard of democracy being the means to an end? It's time to pull this book out. Oh, I think you need to read this book. And you see, it is so nice, colorful, got nice pictures, the founders in it, of what everything was done. And you open up the first page, what's it say? Oh, the Libertarian Collection in Congress. This is how we started everything. And I keep it written. See, the Constitution. Daily read. Need to find something? Find out if it's okay? It's all in here. Anybody can get this copy. But one further yet. What he claimed democracy is such a lie that I have to show you what democracy is. You see, now as we looked at that page there of the Constitution, and you see me turning all these other pages, we come to the next most important document of the Constitution that was added on just to make sure that everything came in. Right there, people. What's that say? The Bill of Rights, the Constitution of the United States of America. Democracy was about the Bill of Rights. These rights that cannot be infringed upon, taken away from you, or anything else like that. This is what democracy is. And each one of these Bill of Rights give you, the individual, the right to choose what to believe, what to say, how to feel, how to live, where to live, what you're allowed to own, what you're not allowed to own, all that good stuff is all right there in this little book. And this book is given out free. Why is it given out free now? It's been given out free because there's too many people that are out there like him. This man right here who is lying and telling you that the democracy is a ways to a means to an end. It is not true. That is not democracy. That is socialism. Socialism is the control of all thoughts to be equaled as one for the benefit of the group, not the individual. Okay? Anytime you take out the rights of the individual or what the individual's beliefs, you are killing democracy. So this man is a liar. Straight up. I'll face him any day, any time. This is the reason why you never see me going into there. And I could have went to there. I could have went to these damn colleges. I could have did all this stuff. And I would have went in for philosophy, to tell you the truth. Okay? Because these people do not understand the relevancy of what they're doing. They think that they're trying to create a better utopia. They want a Star Trek. You know, a universal government-controlled worldwide. Okay? They do not want one country. They want all the countries and all the worlds and all the people to do what these people say. Okay? And your Congress people and that are voting for all this and stuff like that, they're so stupid they don't even know that this is the man right here that's living up in these places teaching all of our young students are the ones that are going to be running it all. Not your politicians. They're not going to have no control or no power. They're not smart enough. They are not the elite. These are the elites. These are the guys that are training and brainwashing all your children and destroying the Constitution and the word of democracy. Now let's get back to what this idiot was saying.
Which is why the means by which we resolve our differences are so important. Those means include a constitution, a system of government based on the rule of law, and an independent judiciary. A dictatorship, by contrast, is only about ends, and those ends are the goals of the dictator. At a minimum, preserving and accumulating personal power.
Okay. Now that part there, I will agree with. Okay? That's what a dictator does. You see, one thing that Hitler did, he became a socialist into a socialist party. He took a frame that was happening to his people. In other words, a tool. Okay? To better explain this, you can use tools to do anything. You can use a tool as a hammer to hammer nails in to build a house or to do something creative. You can also use that same hammer to be destructive. It's a tool. It's on how it is used. Okay? Now, if you look at Hitler, okay, now, as history will teach us, you'll hear the Democrats say that Hitler was a nationalist. He used this party of nationalists. No. That is a false fecal matter coming out of their mouth. Okay? Telling you straight up. Hitler was a socialist. He used nationalism and the robbing of the people of what would happen after World War I, and how the people was starving, breaking apart and falling apart, used that nationalism to implement the socialism takeover that equaled the dictatorship. Okay? So understand that. The nationalism was not what was the Communist Party. No. That was the tool used to set up the Socialist Party that turned to a dictatorship. Because that's what socialism is. First they tell you, please, 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 we need you to help us. And they create those laws to have you beg them to help you. Okay? Understand that. By putting all those regulations on there and killing all these jobs and this global warming bull crap that you see. That's why France is burning. That's why everybody's falling apart over there. Which allows the government to have more control over the people, to slam the people, to stop the people, because the people are fighting back because they can't live. They can't even get $5 or $10 to put in the gas tank to go buy some milk at the store. They literally are starving the people to make the people depend on the government, so they have to go to the government. They're making you beg. Understand that. They're making you beg. This is the tools that they use. Nationalism was never wrong. Nationalism is being about the pride and the system of your country that you're living in. I'm a nationalist. I live in a free America where the individual has the right to choose. Now, as far as what this guy is talking about, he's so mad that we're securing our borders and stopping communists from coming into this place. People who've been brainwashed and trained that socialism is the only way of it. Now, only the criminals and the bad guys are coming up here, as you can see. Because a lot of the true socialism people that are fighting this, they're fighting their own country right now down in Venezuela and that, because they want their country to come back. You see the people that escaped from up there that are coming back, they're trying to wait until everything goes right so they can go back and fix their country and put it back onto a point of democracy. Understand that. This man over here that is speaking is a socialist. He's not a democracy. He's changing what democracy is to fit the narrative of his socialistic agenda. Okay? I'm a little pissed off. So don't get me riled up, you know. Let's get back to the rest of this.
To achieve those ends, a dictator will use any means necessary. Which brings us back to Trump. Now, the conventional criticism of Trump is that he's unfit to be president because he continuously breaks the norms of how a president should behave. Trump's norm breaking is unsettling, to be sure, but his more fundamental offense is he continuously sacrifices the means of our democracy in order to preserve and accumulate personal power. He thereby violates a U.S. president's core responsibility to protect American democracy. A president who shuts down...
Point of fact, the President of the United States was hired by the people of the United States. Us, the people, had put him in the power to control or set the precedence of where we want our country to go in. We wanted the reversal of the regulations. We wanted our land to be our land. The water that was on our land to be ours. Not the DEP or the DEA or anybody else's property. It doesn't belong to the government. They're yours. It's your personal problem. See, it was one of those, if we get my book here back, We got to pull back out one of them Bill of Rights, you know, the right to own personal property. It's yours. Okay? Just because you got a pond on there to feed your live cattle does not mean the government can come in and say, no, you're not allowed to feed your cattle there because that's water for everybody and it goes in the ground for everybody. That's not how it works, people. That is not democracy. Okay? So the fact that he's sitting here saying to shut down the government because of the wall that was needed is a lie. Let's look at it in facts. Donald Trump come walking down those stage. Come down those golden escalator. He's coming to be the President of the United States. What did he say he was going to do? He was going to do this, he was going to do that, he was going to do this, he was going to do that. He done everything that he said he was going to do, and he's still fighting for the security of the border. Now, he said that he was going to do this. We listened. We voted for him. We put him in the power to do this. Understand this. Congress is the one that wants the power. They want the power to regulate and take your freedoms and your rights away from you. They want to take your land power away from you. They want to tell you who you can believe in God, that you shouldn't even believe in a God, that religion is worthless. It does not help the beings of other people. So they attack your religion. They attack your personal positions on what you should believe in. If you don't want to believe in gay marriage, you're attacked. If you don't want to believe in abortion, the murdering of babies, and I ain't going to put it in no other way, it's murder. Okay? When there's 48 million babies that were killed, and that is the highest thing that killed all life in America. Beat cancer, car accidents, opioid addictions, and murders, gun violence. You name it, it's beating them all. Not even a touch. The top one of them might be like 1.5 million. 48 million murdered. Okay? You also hear that we need more people coming in here. No, we don't need more people coming in here when the United States of America just killed and murdered 48 million babies. Okay? We are killing off the free individual people and bringing in communists to destroy the country. There ain't no other lines about this. This man is lying. We voted Donald Trump to put that border on to stop this invasion, to stop the destruction of the American life that has survived for over 250 years that they are now trying to destroy. You want single health care? Look at the VA. Look at all the people on the street and without health problems and all the medical problems that they have. Anybody that's in a lower base form or a government care control healthcare system is done. They ain't getting nothing. They ain't getting no help. They ain't getting no special treatment. They ain't even getting the right to put there. They're getting wiped out left and right. Point blank. Look at the housing. Go into any homes, especially New York. If you think living with rats, roaches, and feces, and junk, and everything else like that, well then go ahead and keep voting for the government to give you housing. Because that's the housing you're going to get. You ain't going to get a Nancy Pelosi mansion or a gated community. You're going to get a rat-infested, roach-infested, drug abuse halls that have been deprecated on, that you can't even walk into the building without smelling the urine. And these are the people that are made to live there. Children who can't afford a better lifestyle. Government help. This is all coming from the government. So Donald Trump shutting down the wall to stop all these actions from coming there is doing exactly what the American people did in their democracy. That voted for him to do exactly what he said he was going to do. These are how these professors are lying and changing the narrative. And they got all these news organizations and everybody else to follow them, because they know in the end they're the ones that are going to hold the power and call all the cards. Let's get back to the rest of his talk.
The government, in order to get his way on a controversial issue such as building a wall along the Mexican border, offering to reopen the government as a concession when his opponents give in, is not protecting the means of democracy. He's treating the government of the United States as a bargaining chip. He's asserting power by any means possible. This is the method of a dictator. The overall pattern is clear to anyone who cares to see it. Trump's entire presidency to date has sacrificed the means of democracy to the ends of preserving and building his personal power.
Okay, and that right there is the biggest part of the lie of all. What power is he building? What power has he taken? That's what I want to know the truth of. What power has he taken off of you? He's giving back you your rights to own your land. He's giving back your rights to believe in a God, talk about God, say what God is. He's putting back constitutional judges on the benches to where they're going to go to the 4 points of the law and not change the law to the meanings of what they feel it should be. Remember, the Constitution is a living document. It's not a dead document that they need to change to suit the people that's living in the world today. The United States broke off from the world. The world was always a socialist and communist place, either run by dictators, monarchs, kings, you name it, whatever. There has always been a ruling class over top of somebody else. The United States is the first country ever to come in and make sure that there was not a ruling class, but the people of the people. In other words, we pick. We put these people in power. We give them the choice to tell them to do what they do. What Donald Trump is doing right now is exactly the will of the people. Okay? If he was taking the power, as this man was saying, then we wouldn't be having this argument. Nancy Pelosi and them wouldn't have this argument. He wouldn't have had to shut down the country. He wouldn't have had to say, no, this is what the American people want. We demand that the American people stay safe. We demand that our schools stay safe. We demand that these policies that you in place that are killing Americans and destroying Americans' lives over people from outside this country, illegal immigration, are citizens that don't belong here. They are citizens of another country. Understand that. They belong somewhere else. They're coming here. Now, when they have more rights than the people that this land belongs to, there is a big problem. Another problem that goes on. This illegal immigration is not made up. Think about this. How many of you American people and families out there that are struggling, that worked here and been here for centuries and centuries, but can't get no help from the United States government? You can't get no welfare, you can't get no food stamps, you can't get no aids of any type. But yet, all these illegal immigrants come in and you're getting all this money, but yet they tell you there's not enough money for you. Well, if they wouldn't be stealing your money and giving it to people that don't belong here, it would be all right. What do you think? When they're paying thousands of dollars to fly these people all over the countries and putting them in cities and stuff like that, what's $1,000 going to do to your family? Think about this. We got over a couple $1 trillion of our money that was wasted and given to other people instead of taking care of American citizens, American children. We got children starving. Their goal is to take all that money and to stick it into things like Planned Parenthood, which wants the elimination and the death of as many American babies as they can. It helps feed the norm that they need more communists to come into this country. Because We ain't got the people to do it. No, they're murdering them. All they want is people that they can control in here and that will beg to the government. The true power is the Democrats stealing your basic civil rights. Democratic and socialism is the battle and the war that we're fighting now. Understand that. If we go socialism, we're going to be just like Venezuela, France, Russia. It's socialism. It's not communism. It's socialism. Yeah, there's a dictator, Putin. He runs it, but he can be overthrown by that small committee of communists that are sitting there. At any given time or day, one of them can come up and smack him right in the head. He ain't going to know about it. Be out there on one of his little fishing trips and take a bullet. That's it. That's gone. Oh, we got a new person in here to take over it. He's going to do whatever these few people tell you. Okay? There ain't no difference between communism or a dictatorship. There ain't. A dictatorship's got a control of the small party. Socialism, the small party, is the control. Same thing in dictatorship. Except for the small party just happens to agree with the dictator and help him achieve his goals. Understand this, people. The real death of democracy is socialism. And people like this professor right here. And he's from Berkeley. And remember, he was a labor secretary. This is one of the men that killed all those jobs and made you hurt so bad to where you needed to cry and beg the government for help. And he made the laws to do that to you. Why do you think they hate Trump so much? It's not that he's stealing power. It's that he's giving the power back to the people where it belongs. And not the government. This is a commentary, and I know it's a Sunday, and I don't do them on Sundays, but this one really ticked me off. God bless you all. Please be smart. Get this book. Turn it around so you can see it. Read it. Read it to your children. Most of all, read the Bill of Rights. Look at the laws that are being made. Look at the laws that Trump is destroying that was made. And then understand what those Bill of Rights really meant. Okay? Because that is the democracy. And without those Bill of Rights, we don't have a democracy. A democracy is the people voting. And the people don't have the individual rights to be free. Who cares what your vote is? You're just doing what some puppet tells you to do. Right? God bless. This is Pitbull. I'm out for now. I'll see you again real soon.